As far as my return, I want to file it, except for many years, I've been audited every year. 12 years or something like that. Every year they audit me, audit me, audit me. Nobody gets audited. I have friends that are very wealthy people. They never get audited. I get audited every year. I will absolutely give my return, but I'm being audited now for 2 or 3 years, so I can't do it until the audit is finished, obviously, and I think people would understand that.
That was Donald Trump defending against questions about his tax returns and why he won't release them. This issue started heating up after a tweet from Mitt Romney yesterday, and it got a lot of attention tonight. Rich Lowry is a Fox News contributor and National Review editor. Charles Hurd is a political columnist for the Washington Times. Ben Shapiro's with us, too. He's editor-in-chief of DailyWire.com. Good to see you all. So Mitt Romney actually tweeted out after that answer that there's nothing to stop. Here it is. Watch. No legit reason why Donald Trump can't release returns while being audited. But if scared, release earlier returns no longer under audit. Charlie Hurt, let me start with you on that. Mitt Romney clearly thinks this is a way to poke Donald Trump, and so did the others on stage tonight.
Sure, and I think it ought to be noted that there are a lot of Tea Party groups around America right now who possibly relate with Donald Trump on this issue. But yeah,
just to your point, Trump came on TV after the debate and said he thinks he's being audited because he is a, quote, strong Christian. So he's suggesting what you're suggesting.
Yeah, well, but I do think that, in fact, one of the best parts of the night for Donald Trump was when he actually went after Mitt Romney about this very issue. And obviously that's where Donald Trump is at his very best, is when he can sort of personalize something and go on the full-throated attack, which of course is what he did in pointing out that, yeah, Mitt Romney's great and everything, but he did lose the last election, and the reason that we're here today is because Mitt Romney lost a race in 2012 that we probably should have won.
Yeah, Trump got a lot of applause when he pointed that out and said he should have won that race. So obviously Cruz and Rubio had a lot on the line tonight. They have not been winning. Cruz won Iowa, but Rubio hasn't won one. And the latest poll just out today shows Trump beating Rubio in Rubio's home state of Florida. And obviously Trump has a heavy presence there as well through his businesses, Mar-a-Lago and so on. But look at this, 44% over Rubio's 28%. And so he needed a good night tonight. Let me start with you, Rich. Did he get it? Did Rubio do what he needed to do?
He did have a good night, and it was very important for him to attack Donald Trump, not so much because it was about Donald Trump, but because it was about Marco Rubio. If Rubio had gotten up on that stage and taken a pass, he would have seemed so weak. He wouldn't have seemed like a leader. His supporters would have been so dispirited. So it was important for him to come out punching. And I would expect we'll see the pattern we've seen in a couple of other states now, where Rubio wins the late-breaking vote. The problem is there's not necessarily that much late-breaking vote. And you saw that in Nevada, where the late breakers went to Rubio. So Rubio won the last week in Nevada, but Trump had won the prior year. And people who were already with him and had already decided stuck with him. And that's what Trump supporters have to be hoping is also the phenomenon here.
Ben, you're a Ted Cruz supporter. What did you make of his performance tonight and whether it advanced the ball for him?
Well, I think it didn't hurt him. I think that Ted Cruz had to come out aggressive. I did think that he came out less aggressive. I think he got more aggressive as the night went on. I think the big problem for Cruz is that he's always very lawyerly in his attacks, and sometimes that's great, is when he's talking about Obamacare or Israel. But the truth is that Trump is a knife fighter, and he's more of a spoiled brat, overgrown teenager who likes to get in insult fights. So the only way to really beat him that way is to just punch him in the face. And I think that Rubio actually did a pretty good job of punching him in the face with teenage insults tonight, and they were pretty effective.
Do you think that that any of Cruz's supporters are reconsidering Marco Rubio, Ben?
I think that there's some Cruz supporters who probably are reconsidering Rubio. The problem is that, again, there are not a lot of late-breaking supporters. I think that this thing, none of these three guys are getting out, and that means advantage Trump, unfortunately.
That's right. And so, Charlie, one of the things that Trump always does well with is the subject of immigration. And tonight, he was very strong on this pushback he got from Vicente Fox. Do we have the Fox soundbite? Let's listen to what, Okay, yeah. Listen to what the former leader makes.
I'm not going to pay for that wall. He should pay for it. He's got the money.
So, Mr. Trump had a message for the former Mexican leader himself tonight. Let's listen.
How are you going to make them pay for the wall?
I will, and the wall just got 10 feet taller, believe me. It's got 10 feet taller. I saw him make the statement. I saw him use the word that he used. I can only tell you, if I would have used even half of that word, it would have been national scandal. This guy used a filthy, disgusting word on television, and he should be ashamed of himself, and he should apologize, okay?
If the Mexicans don't pay for the wall, will you start a trade war with Mexico?
Well, you know, I don't mind trade wars when we're losing $58 billion a year.
Charlie, not only is Trump not getting that apology, apparently, but Joe Biden, our vice president, went down there and said, we should be apologizing to Mexico for the rhetoric from some, he said, of the GOP candidates.
You know, Megan, from the very, very beginning, 7 months ago, one of Donald Trump's greatest strengths has been the enemies that he attracts. And whether it's the media, whether it's the New York Times, whoever it is, when he draws these enemies and he gets into these fights, they're somehow the perfect foil for him. And when the Pope went after him before South Carolina, I guarantee you that helped him enormously there. And then to have Vicente Fox go after him days before the Super Tuesday, it's just shocking. It's like, is the guy on his payroll? Trump could not have picked a better enemy to get into a fight with right now.
It's a gift. It's like a little gift from Mexico to Donald Trump.
In a piñata.
Great to see you all.
Good to be with you.